Ang kalayo, importante kalayo. Hindi na sa
Fires will be used to be able to cook and cook. Therefore, fire use brings life.
Pamilang pamulang ng kong anong palimutin, sibulit siya. Katok namin kaparaan ng kami na paglag ay Lumad sa USA para doon sa kinahanglan sa porta at mga manubo na siya ng buwan maligat puso.
This is Bangladesh. We ask for your blessing for the Lakbay. We are here at the final day of the Lakbay NYC, and for the success that is brought to this trip, we continue to ask for your blessings as we hold this forum today. Continue to ask that this Lakbay, this journey will be support and solidarity from the people. Moonlight, stars, from the wind, the fish in the water. These are all things that represent God.
Busa ini ang pinan, dipinsya, aron dili, magubah. Kung ibadayon, itulog sa mga kabataan, itulog sa lahat ng sa eskwelahan kaluman, ay para ang nasusunod, hindi malimutin. Sa itulog sa pagmamikanan na pinangapat ang mga
Therefore, we must protect, we must continue to teach our children the lesson that has been passed down from generations to one, to protect and defend this land, to give integrity to our
Kini among tugon, kini alang kanila, aron magtulong ang ilang.
This is our purpose in life in order so that their life will be better.
For those who know, greetings. Nagkabot sa inyong tanan. Good afternoon, everyone. Daghang salamat, many thanks for all of you coming out to our Forum of Human Rights for the Lakbay Lumad USA. For those who don't know, Lakbay means journey, it's a travel. Lumad in Visaya means indigenous or born of the earth. So this is the continuing journey of Mindanao's indigenous peoples for peace, food, land, and justice. This is our day 40 of our tour, going across the United States. The second week of April in Washington, D.C. We talked to the government there, also human rights organizations, different community organizations, made our way to Southern California, then to Northern California, the Midwest, Portland, and now with all of you. We just spoke at the United Nations and we're doing continuing the tour. We're thankful that all of you are here with us. I want to share with you one solidarity chant that we're going to be doing throughout this afternoon. It's called Pangiyak. Pangiyak means shout and Manobo, one of the 18 tribes in Mindanao, one of the 18 Lumad tribes. So when I say Pangiyak, ki means we or together. When we say Pangiyak, everyone shouts, screams, stomps, shows that they're alive, shows the spirit of solidarity and unity. Is that okay?
Yes.
Okay. I know you guys have good blueberry scones.
Yes.
So let's try to let that digest. All right. Paniaki! Paniaki! We're still alive. Okay, so my name is Pele, or Anthony Navarro. I'm one of the advocates on the delegation. I'll be introducing our leaders and our advocates today. For the program, what you're going to hear today is our Lumad traditions and cultures, stories, songs, and we're going to watch some videos to give you a visual context for those of you who may have not don't know about Mindanao. And then at the end, we'll have a breakout discussion, actually, and then we'll have a little Q&A session. People's organizations. And he's also representing, All right, can we get another Pangiaki? Next we have Pani Norma Kapuya. Can we give her a warm Pangiak? Pani means tribal women leader, and Pani Norma is the vice chairperson of Lumad. And she's the chairperson of Baigi Mindanao's Women's Network, which is a Mindanao White Alliance of Indigenous Women Leaders. And she is also the chairperson of the Provincial Indigenous Peoples Organization in North Cotabato that covers the Mount Apo area, which is the highest peak in the Philippines. Next we have So Merlin, or aka Kuyanada, is the chairperson of the SACA, which is a confederation of Lumad organizations in the southern Mindanao region. He's also the spokesperson of our Lakbay Lumad USA. Next we have Ate Josephine Pagala. Can we get her warm Pagala? Ate Josephine is from the Manobo tribe from Surigao del Sur, and she's the spokesperson of Casalo, which is the Caraga Regional Indigenous Peoples Organization, which represents over 11 municipalities. And actually, I forgot to mention, Kuyalala is from the Laan tribe, Surigao. Next, we have Beverly Logan. thank you, Beverly, is the International Solidarity Officer of Cadrigo, which is the National Alliance of Indigenous Peoples Organizations across the entire Philippines, which represents over 600 Indigenous Peoples organizations. And she is also the global coordinator of the Indigenous Peoples Movement of Self-Determination and Liberation, which is a global indigenous alliance of indigenous peoples across the world. So those are our indigenous leaders. Can we give them another warm mañana? And not only do we have indigenous leaders with us, we have also indigenous advocates who have been working hard for several decades to support the human rights of indigenous peoples. First, I would like to introduce Francis Lumad from NYC. Francis has been a staunch advocate of indigenous people's rights and human rights for the past 20 years in Mindanao. And in Peace Mindanao has been a staunch advocate for indigenous people's rights for several decades, from the original evacuations from England in the 90s to the present today. Next we have Ate Rabbi Morales in the back. Can you give a warm right? Ate Rabbi for some years has been working with indigenous children and peasant farming children at the Children Rehabilitation Center in the Southern Mindanao region, and she's also on the board of trustees of the Lumad, the Community Learning Center, which is the noble means unity. And if you have any questions or you want to look at our resource table in the back, look at our traditional crafts, we have books for sale. You can talk about that right at any time. And once again, my name is Pele. You can call me Pele. I'm from International Solidarity Network to the Indigenous Peoples called Lakbay International. Lakbay in Maloco means unity, cooperation, and solidarity. And I'm originally actually from San Francisco, California. That's our local Bay Area tribe slang. But I was a community organizer in the Bay Area for over a decade and also a high school teacher. And I was really inspired and moved my exposure trips and medical missions and relief missions this past 10 years. And last year, I literally moved to the Philippines. Now I live in that work side by side with our indigenous brothers and sisters. So is it okay if I get a paña? So now we're gonna watch a short 18-minute short documentary of the Manila Bias, which is the journey of actually from Mindanao to Manila, which is like our political center, like Washington, D.C. And you'll see and kind of understand the connection to why we are continuing this Lakbay, this journey to the U.S. This video is in Bisaya. So if you don't understand Bisaya and we don't have a projector, we only have a TV, the subtitles are small. We encourage those folks, if you really want to read along with the text and understand what's happening, there's some empty seats more close, and we invite you to sit there. Thanks.
Kasi yung Luzon at yung Bisaya ay talagang no? Side na side na. Pagkikita mo yan sa mga lugar mo namin, sa lugar mo ng mga yung mga ranges na yung at least sa studio,
Hindi kami ang may-ari. Tayo lahat ay hindi kailangan na kung may-ari ng lupa. Kundi tayo ay pag-alaga kung ano ang binigay ng ating Panginoon.
Ang Lumad ay mga ginala na Bisaya na means indigenous people of pero may major ginala pero may mga sakto na 23
ang kalagayan ng mga komunidad ng mga katutubo, walang eskwelahan, walang kalsada, walang ilaw, walang ospital, dahil community clinic wala. Neglected yung community ng mga katutubo. Hindi decisive yung gobyerno, walang political will ang gobyerno doon sa mga basic services. Ito yung panginoon namin, ito yung talagang target. Ito yung inablayan ng maraming applications. Kung pupunta ka naman sa mga karusulan, nandiyan yung mga malalawak ng mga applications, applications, pineapple, no? Then on the end of the yan, applications, and then swimming room, and then and then yung welcome. Wala ka pupuntahan. Sabi sa mga applications ng Manila Data dito sa mga malalawak ng applications.
Ako mas pinaka-kakalista sa community ay masakit ang buhay namin. Ang payapa, kaya kasan. Ang aking mga company na binigay yung hindi talagang nangalumbar na kami na mawasak na yung aming pinagkasan na hindi lalagyan namin na pagkatapos ng umalis ng military corporation, ano na talaga yung at tapos ng mga yung nakabalo ko depensa sa iyong kabilin, nakabalo ko ang katulog, makabalo nga ang mga sinusunod kung edukasyon, bisan pa man sa kalisod, bisan pa man natin sa executive director, wala na pasabog na makuya ng pakipiso, mas masama ko pakakili, mas mulagan pa ang suportan, hindi kami makuya, padayon na ito ang aming suportan, padayon na ang aming edukasyon, makuya tablo na namin sa maayong pagdepensa kung maayong pagprotekta sa katungod ng mga lumat. Sinasabi na kami ay mahinti, kami ay mga katutubungan ng mga sa nakakuha ng mga kumpanya na sinasabi ng mga kumpanya pa namin. Kaya kami ay maglalagay. Ang ating palagila, muna sila sa aming mga bahay. So, sa paaralan, sa ubigan ng project, hindi ka nakalagalihan. Sabi nila, mga hindi ang mga estudyante. Paano magiging hindi ang mga estudyante? Dapat ang atmas na naladala.
Bahasa sa jihad atau bahasa maksud kerasan setan. Baik, apa ini sebab kasus kampung kalau banyak kes jemaah itu seperti ulangan lima kalau kasus kampung semua sudah dia sesuatu semua dalam lagi semua.
Ang pinaka-undan yun sa tulong sa militarisasyon, ang kaniyutang kabilin na gusto nila pasugdan sa mga dagong pagmina, pasugdan sa mga plantasyon. So, nagtundan, ang military mo ay mudipinsa, tulungay, bantay sa kalinaw, pero bantay sa kalinaw sa sinitero sa kapalungan ng pinakagagawin dito sa pagmilitan. So, kaya kami mga lumaan, hugot na nilipinsa na yung kabilin, nalilit naman sa aming mga susunod, sa ulan pa, hindi naman kami ang makalangan ini. Kaya ilan ako ang itang kabilin, umuwi ang ginagawi. Ang gusto tayo na niabot ang parang militar, niabot ang militar sa alas 15 sa gabi sa komunidad sa September 1, alas 10 sa kadaon, wala niabot ang pagkitabo na diatake ang komunidad sa 2016, tanan ipagawas ang mga tao, laas sa panimalay, wala ipili, tigulang man o magpunang na ipagawas nila. So, kaya ano na daw sila itanaw. Abot na mo sa dalan, nakita na mo ang mga dagang kaibigan. Kada duha ka lupa, ang kuhaan ang duha kaibigan na kabantay sa nakita na mo ba ang ipuyan sa executive director na si Emilio sa mga paramilitar ang iyang ipuyan. Wala na siya ipagawas justice na siya dito sa sulod sa iyang itulugan. Samtang kami, di na makalimit kung kayo sunod-sunudan sa mga bukas sa ilang armas. Niluudan ni Pati Tihero si ang kolonel na drop nagdadal sa kundi sa pamilya kasi hindi kay dahil may ayaw sa sige dagan nga mabuto ang Islamic dahil mismo kita sa mga mata ang ilang pagkakataon ang kunis sa kusis kanina kuha pilasi lato pilih sila sa ang likuran di bila dito bila sa tabi balik-balikan ang kamu di kusil o kapila daghan ka business ng pagkusil kung inyong sa iyang pagkamatay.
Nandito yung political center ng Malacanang, nandito ang presidente na dapat managot sa lahat ng ito. Siya po ang chief ng pagkakasasyon ng Pilipinas. Siya dapat ang may malaking
Ang gobyerno sa Pilipinas, unang-una, respeto sa mga lugar. Ito ang edukasyon ng program sa mga lugar. Pagtagal ang mga problema iabot sa ang komunidad. Kung nakatagal kung siya ang pagpatay sa mga lugar, hindi natin mo nila mamuyat sa kusaman ang mga pagpatay pagkakagawag ng mga lugar. Pagkabiling na lumaro o dipinsa sa atong pagkabiling pagkakaroon na ako nasugdan ng piso sa atong mga titularan ano sa mga kaso.
Video. I am not Lumad. I'm very long but I am an Igorot. I belong to the Bontok and Tantanang people from up north of the Philippines. So my brothers and sisters who majority are located down south, I come from up north in the Philippines. As has mentioned, I am here in my capacity as the representative of CASIGO, the National Alliance of Indigenous Peoples Organizations in the Philippines, and the Indigenous Peoples Movement for Self-Determination and Population, an international network of Indigenous Peoples Organizations from the grassroots. The Lumad organizations that are represented here today are members of CASIGO and IBN-SBL. This afternoon, we shall hear stories and personal accounts of Lumad leaders or indigenous peoples from Mindanao, the southernmost part of the Philippines. The Lumads, like other indigenous peoples, like the Igorots, the Hangans, the Aitas, the Lumagats in the Philippines, also suffer from discrimination on the basis of our ethnic and cultural identity. At this time of mobile phones, internet, and cable TV, a lot of people would still look at indigenous peoples as backward, as barbaric, uneducated, and uncivilized. And because of that, often we are neglected by the government from social services such as health, education, and infrastructure. In fact, our communities are the poor in find ourselves in. Aside from that, we are also excluded from state economic programs, and often we are asked to sacrifice for the majority, or often we're always asked to sacrifice for national interest, when in fact, these governments actually do not benefit the majority, do not benefit national interest. And we are not also considered in political governance and decision making. In all cases, we are left behind. This is ironic. As indigenous peoples, we have much to contribute to development. A testament to this is that the world's remaining biodiversity, the world's remaining natural resources, whether it's in the United States, whether it's in Europe, in Asia, in the Pacific, or in Africa, are located in indigenous peoples' territories. This is a testament. This is a witness to the value, an expression of our value that land is life. Our speakers today shall share with us their situation, their issues and concerns, and their aspirations in relation to unwanted intrusions of large-scale mining. You have seen the pictures of energy projects. This can be either wind deals, hydro energy or geothermal projects, and agricultural commercial plantations in our communities or ancestral lands. However, equally important in the stories that you hear today is our struggles and resistance of how we defend our ancestral lands from these destructive operations, not only for our benefit, not only for the benefit of future human organizations, but for everybody, indigenous and non-indigenous. We will hear our resistance on how we respond to these intrusions, these operations, and we will also government response to these strategies. You will see that it can either be totally ignored, government not totally responding to our protests, to our appeals, but on the other hand, the other side of the coin is that working with violence and repression. You will see of militarization of our police and other members of the community facing charges, vilification, our protests, our alternatives, our initiatives are vilified as terrorist activities or rebel activities, and worse, we use judicial killings. Today, under the regime, we have documented around 78 Lumad killed out of the 91 killed during the period of occupation. You will see here later on of hundreds or thousands that have been forcefully evacuated from their communities. But then friends say, one kill is still one killing too many. One evacuation is still one evacuation too many. It's not a question of how many, but then the fact that it exists is an issue by itself. While we hear of the Lumad situation today, the reality, their situation mirrors the situation of other indigenous peoples all over the world. I think most of you have participated and have heard of what happened to Berta Caceres. She received the an environmental award, and because of her dam in Honduras, and she was killed. After that, 3 days after that, another colleague of hers was also killed. We were able to meet Berta because we are in solidarity in this campaign against dams. And this happens even in developing states, Canada, or even other European countries. The situations of indigenous peoples, it's the same all over. So we hope that at the end of this forum, we hope to gain your support and solidarity for indigenous people's rights and our assertion of our right to self-determination. The situation shall worsen, especially with this aggressive implementation of neoliberal policies. We hear of regional trade blocks with the Asia Federation. Now we have this Trans-Pacific Partnership agreements. So what we see now will probably worsen in the coming years, or probably in the coming months. And with your solidarity, we hope that we will be able to achieve more victories. We will be able to achieve, we will have stronger resistance, because together we shall strive for a better world, because indeed a better world is possible. So, thank you very much.
That is a chant. Maybe later I will consider that chant. Okay. Yeah. I'd like to emphasize the Utang Kabilib. Utang Kabilib is a Bisaya. This is ancestral lands for the indigenous peoples, for Lumad, Mindanao. And second, I'd like also to emphasize the term, the word salubungan. Salubungan, as what Pellet said while ago, it is unity or solidarity. Utang Kabilib or ancestral domain or ancestral land for indigenous peoples is important because this is our life, and the concept of indigenous peoples, or we as Lumad, of ancestral land. But you saw the video, the documentary video that is we got last year in our Manila Bayan. I'd like to also to tell you that the Manila Bayan and this Lakbay Lumad USA, we have our goal. Go up to the Q&A. This one, stop the attacks on our schools, communities, and people. Support the people's resistance to militarization and plunder in Mindanao. The militarization and plunder in Mindanao is what you said in the video. This is we said this is a twin event. Who attacks our communities, who attacks our people, who attacks our, which the school was established by our own community, by indigenous peoples, because this is as a basic services. The government neglected these basic social services for us, indigenous peoples. Why? Why we say this is a twin event? Because Mindanao in 2013, actually, in 2013, government of the Philippines, through the administration, under the administration of President Benigno Aquino III, he approved, the government approved 500,000 hectares of ancestral land, mostly ancestral land, so indigenous peoples, to big mining corporations, and mostly foreign mining corporations, large-scale mining corporations. So, yeah, there's US, British, Canada, China, Japan. And then, aside from that, mining corporations. Why there's militarization? We said this is really because in 2013 also, 60% of the armed forces of the Philippines was deployed to Mindanao. It means we are, the community, the armed forces of the Philippines, in our communities, they live and they stay together with the families with one room. And every day they have interrogation in our communities. They kill our leaders, and even us. We have a lot of threats. And even us, we are also threatened in our lives. If they saw us in the community, then they have a license, always a license to kill us. And because they always said that because we are strong to defend our ancestral domain against these big mining corporations, then they always said we are sympathizers, or we are the New People's Army. New People's Army is the revolutionary groups in the Philippines who the government prolongs the civil war in the Philippines. So it means the armed forces of the Philippines, which in 2013 was deployed in Mindanao, it serves as investment defense force of these big mining corporations. So that's why, we face a lot of human rights violations, which the armed forces of the Philippines as number one perpetrators, and that they organize paramilitary groups, which coming also from the indigenous peoples in the communities. they divide the communities, other indigenous peoples, they equate them or they bribe them in order to arm them into a paramilitary groups in order to kill the leaders of indigenous peoples who are strongly defend the ancestral lands against these mining corporations. That's why we are here in the United States of America also. Yeah, aside from the national, last year we go to Manila, to the center of the political center of the Philippines, to call for the Malacanang or the White House of the Philippines, to call the president that he should pull out all the armed forces of the Philippines in our communities and drop all crime charges and cases, filed charges against us, and stop the killings of indigenous peoples. But today, we are still, and a lot of us and indigenous peoples are still in the public sector, and a lot of our schools in the communities were attacked, and until now, the armed forces of the Philippines impact in our schools and in our communities. That's why we are here to continue our cause to stop the attacks on our schools and communities and people, and support our campaign, support our resistance to militarization and rather through Save Our Schools campaign, and then through the Stop Lumad killings. And yeah, we need a solidarity with the people around the world, because ancestral lands, our ancestral ways, is the last, or we say this is the last frontiers of the natural resources of the Filipino people. This is we consider our ancestral lands or ancestral domain as a national patrimony of the Filipino people. And if we say this is the national patrimony, then this is not only a struggle or a resistance of the indigenous peoples, but this is a struggle or resistance of Filipino peoples. And not just the Filipino people, but the whole human beings who have visions for justice, for peace, and for defending human rights. So that's why I have this tank. Yeah, I checked this while ago. And this is a tank in our drive. We use this tank to reduce the stick, strike it into the ground, and then women put the grains of the rice into the ground, where the stick make a hole. Then we put, this is a tank of solidarity. While we plant, yeah, solidarity. Like this. Wandu anan, walang ipanan. Wandu anan, walang ipanan. Wandu anan, walang ipanan. Other. Wandu anan, walang ipanan. Okay. If we chant this because we are not going to do the planting rice, then because this is a solidarity chant, then we do the dance, something like this. Wandu anan, walang ipanan. Wandu anan, walang ipanan. Can you try? Yeah. Okay, do the stomp of the. It's like this. One. Stomp the right foot. Okay, let's do this. Let's do this together. Hey, 1, 2, 3, go. 1, 2, 1, 2. Okay, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Walang ipanan. 1, 2, 1, 2, walang ipanan. Wandu kanan, balandi kanan. Thank you.
Ngayong hapon sa atong tanan. Ako si Josephine, o nanigang ko sa Caraga Region.
My name is Josephine, I'm from the Caraga region.
Ang region, sa kagideklara ng sa mining capital.
The region is declared one of the mining capitals.
Kung mao nga ang Caraga, bisan gupat man siya ang probinsya, hindi po po ang kinilusi kabatalyong militar.
So even though Caraga only has 4 provinces, it has been, there are 12 battalions of military.
Issue ng militarization.
This is why we established our organization in light of the militarization and evacuation.
Ang among kasinatian mismo nga pag-atake ka ng mao kini ang likong nakahakit kung mao kini ang hinungdanan ni barog kami sa aming yuta.
The attacks on us are the very reason why we have lost strength in order to attack us.
Niadtong 1992, human kami evacuate sa Tanlac City. Pagbalik na mo, itupon na mo ang organisasyon ng kaso.
We started the organization of ASO in 1992 after we had returned from evacuating the area.
Ug duman nga ipundar na mo ang ekonomiya, politika ug kultura.
And we also founded the economic, political, and social.
Ug tungod kay nakita namo nga ang mga lumad kulang sa edukasyon, gidawat namo ang tanyag sa usa ka bishop nga si Bishop Terryman Delio. Kung nag-i-introduce niya ang usa ka tribal Filipino program sa Surigao del Sur nga mao ang elementary nga eskwelahan.
Because we saw the lack of education that was not given to our children, we accepted the donation from Bishop in order to found a school.
Sa pagsugod namo sa mga eskwelahan, lisod kaayo tungod kay nagasugod kami sa halos walay building, walay teacher.
Starting and founding the school is very difficult because we started from nothing and had buildings and teachers.
Kung mao nga sa pagsugod sa Tribal Filipino Program, ang katong mga naka-eskwela sa ubos ng mga lumad, usa lang ko ni naningkamot nga mo training is literacy and numeracy. Mao nga sa pagsugod sa mga eskwelahan, dili lang ko inahan sa akong anak, o isa ko ka teacher, o isa ko ka leader sa community.
The Tribal Filipino program was founded. The first students that were there, including myself, we endeavored to train ourselves in literacy in order so that we can teach the next generations. For my children, I'm not only the mother, I'm also one of the teachers and mentors.
Sa dihang ni-graduate na ang mga kabataan, ni-graduate na sila sa elementary. Nakita sa organisasyon sa mga ginikanan niya, dili pa ikaw magkakalang resis ang mga bata.
Once the children graduated from elementary school, many of the parents thought that it was not enough that they only graduated from the 6th grade in elementary school.
Mao nga nag-meeting ang council sa mga basa ug naghimo og resolusyon. Ug ang resolusyon ay address sa mao man ni ako ang alkalde sa aming lugar.
So also resolved to upgrade the Tribal Filipino program, and that's when the Alcadal came in.
Ang alkalde usa ka high school nga eskwelahan o usa kini ka agricultural o ang alkalde usa ka adapt or partner sa Scholastica Manila o usa po kini ka pandil sa federal government.
Alcadal is a high school, and it's also an agricultural learning center. It's partnered with Scholastica Department in the Philippines, and it's also funded by a budget.
Ug niabot na og 11 years ang alkalde niadtong August 27. Ug dinhing panahon na i-announce ni Sir Emerico sa Marga nga ang alkalde usa siya ka nakadawat og award ikalima sa National Visit Literacy and Numeracy. Usa ka nang formal education.
It's been 11 years since Alcadal was founded, since August 27 last year, and as Mr. Park had announced, Alcadal actually received an award for their literacy, science, and education.
O kini ang iyang katapusang tungtong sa aming states. Tungod kay September 1, brutal siya nagpatay dito sa Pacoldero, gidunggab sa mga daghan, ipilitan ang iyang group.
This was his last president's last announcement on our stage, because a few days later he was brutally murdered. He was tortured, and his hands were tied and his eyes were cut.
Ug ang mga tao niadtong panahon nga gigawas ug gitapok dito sa atugtaran sa atong balay ug sa dihang natapok na tanan gipakita gyud sa pagpatay si General Campos sa tubangan sa iyang gipanguluhang mga lugar.
At the same time that they had detained Emeritus Marga, they also gathered all the forces of the school, and in front of everyone, they also showed. They also killed Junel Campo in front of them.
O tungod ni nga tangtang tungod kay human namatay si Junel o si Benny Simpson. Ang tanang mga militar kauban sa mga paramilitary groups, ang mga paramilitar nitong panahon na silang tanan nagpautuog ang mga balin sa ilang bala nilakpot sa mga ulo sa mga bata.
And after they killed Junel Campos and Jerry Sinzo, the paramilitary and private military groups were in celebration. They fired their guns up into the air, and these guns, the bullets ricocheted or fell on the heads of smaller children.
Ug kini pud ang hinungdan nga nibakbit kami tungod kay gawas kay giingnan kami sa paramilitar nga kung dili mo mubakbit sulod sa duha ka adlaw imasaker namo ang inyong lugar walay pilion murong yung patio mauna hinungdan sa among immediate nga pagbakwit.
For this reason, we evacuated. We were concerned because the paramilitary groups threatened us, saying that if we did not leave in 2 days, they would kill everyone without distinction.
Tungod kay gahi mo ang among mga ulo kay dili mo sugod sa may company, mga laking company nga gusto mo sulod sa among lugar.
They were angry that we did not allow mining companies and logging companies to obtain permits in our land, and so they wanted us out.
O tungod sa interes sa mining company, mao niya ang hinungdan sa militarization ug mao niya ang hinungdan sa pagpamatay sa mga legal lumad tungod sa pagbalog ug pagdepensa sa iyong kabilin nga dili kini maguba. Mao kini ang hinungdan sa pagpamangwit sa libo-libo ng mga lumad sa Mindanao.
It is because of this militarization that all the killings have occurred, that the tribal leaders have stood up in defense of the land, and that the evacuations and internal displacement of the Lumad has occurred.
Mao nga kami sa Surigao del Sur mag 9 months na may karong sa uno ang among bakwit nga adunay ilang nga 2,621 individuals ug ang haran kapit tuig na nga bakwit ug adunay bakwit sa Bukidnon ug sa Surigao del Norte sa Caraga gihapon nadugangan ang akong bakit niya noong April 23 tungod kay ipatay na usab sa 30 IB, 29 IB si Dato Arnel Nair.
So far, it's been 2,621 people in the Caraga area that have evacuated and internally displaced. And not only have they done so because of the events last year, but that recently they had also killed and April 23rd another tribal leader in the area, and so more people have evacuated.
Mauni nga sa among paglakbay, dala-dala namo ang panawagan niya, pray na lumatong. Tungod kay patakang panginahanglan namo ang yuta, tungod kay ang yuta kinabuhi o panginahanglan sa katawang lumad. O ang eskwelahan, patakang panginahanglan sa among kabataan, o ang kinahanglan din namin ipunda o ipadayon.
That is why in our journey in the Lakbay Lumad, we are calling for the end of militarization because land for us is our life. It is what brings us life, and this is where we get our life. And that for our children and the generations to come, they need education. They need to learn the lessons. And then we're going to add that.
Kadto ang kinatibok ang kahimtang sa Mindanao sa mga.
And that is the situation right now of the Lumad.
proud from democracy, they survive this democracy for generations on plantations. Parents took the land, but in the hand, receive no compensation, no education, no healthcare, no food, no welfare. The system shows they don't care. Children of this neighborhood, and if you can, the land show support and have a plan together. Labels you a rebel, trying to free the land of rich. Man says you're too young to know what you really need. You just like your parents, you don't know how to write or read, but if you come and work for me, corporation, company, buying your lands and cut your trees, I'm keeping cash on me. Children see the light, they smell the breeze. We are young, we are wise, we are alive, but we will be the edge of our exploitation of our land communities. We will fight and defend our lives with education until we're free. Woo! Leaders in the community, but we're also, as you can tell, fierce singers and musicians. Right?
Yes, that cultural work.
Next, we're going to transition into another testimony by Norma. But before Norma shares her testimony, we're going to show a quick 3-minute video regarding what happened in Mindanao and Kinabawan, in North Cotabato, with the Kinabawan massacre, Rice Hospitals, Bigasi Bibala campaign, and some of you may be aware of, but for those who aren't, we're going to show a quick 3-minute video to give you context.
Nagkapatid na lang siya kaya kung makita ka sa lahat bukas ka. Kapatid na lang yan. Kung mga kapatid sa akin karoon, maganda mo bukas. Manakot ako sa akin.
Mayong hapon. Mayong hapon sa atong tanan. Usa sa amo ang panawagan ilalami Lakbay Lumad USA ang katong inaingon pagkaon, yuta ug justisya.
One of our calls within the Lakbay Lumad USA is the call for food, land, and justice.
Nganong pagkaon ang usa sa among panawagan tungod kay kami ang mga lumad dito sa among lugar sa probinsya sa North Cotabato na biktima sa sobra na kagutom, grabe na kagutom.
Why is food one of our calls? It's because we, the Lumad in Southern Cotabato, have been victims of a severe famine and hunger.
Kami na nasihantin ni pito ka bulan na init.
We have experienced 7 months of dry season.
Ug ang resulta niini wala na pagkaon ng mga lumad, mga pisante, sa mga komunidad na naikot sa taas na init.
As a result of this, the people, the Lumad, the farmers that were affected by the severe drought no longer have it.
O ang ginakauna lang sa amo ang mga kanakan, sa mga bata, dito sa mga interior area, mauna lamang ang pinakakatapusan na remedy, mo ang pagkuwaltakot o mga ilaga para makoy pagkaon.
So that the child believes that they're eating nutrition using things like salt.
Nanong kiniman ang amuan na sinati, ngayon ito kabulan na init. Tungod kayo ng lugar, puno na sa plantasyon sa saging. Naanito ang kumpanya sa Dole Philippines, Dole sa Triko sa among lugar.
Why has this been our experience for 7 years? Why is the drought so severely affecting the area? It is because most of the land has been dominated by plantations, by gold plantation.
Maunay tinunggan nganong naglunsad ni o usa ka limong protesta niadtong March 30, 31 o April 1.
This is why on March 30, 31, and April 1st, we had put together a demonstration.
Nganong naglunsad ni o limong protesta na moabot siya og 6,000 ka mga indigenous peoples farmers o peasants, apil ang mga bata, babae, igulang buntis.
Why were we able to launch such a huge demonstration contest that included 6,000 Lumad and farmers, including children, including mothers, and even pregnant women.
Tungod kay November 2015, nag-declare na ang Philippine government o ang provincial government na ang lugar sa probinsya sa North Cotabato, iniklara na siya sa state of calamity.
Because since November 2015, both the national and provincial government had declared that the North Cotabato region as a result of the drought was in a state of calamity.
O sa January 2016, official na nag-declare ang provincial government na i-release na ang 238 million pesos na calamity fund.
In January 2016, the provincial government had officially announced that they will release the 238 million pesos in calamity relief funds.
Pero ang provincial government, wala yun nag-release ni Ana, bisan tuon o grabe na nakagulong na abang na sinabi.
Yet, despite a severe hunger and famine, the provincial government has yet to release any of the funds that had announced it.
Moto na yun sa tulong na adlaw na human barricade sa National Highway na barikada na mo o among may nasigit sa maong barikada bugas-bugas dilipan.
And for this reason, we had organized a barricade in one of the major highways in the area, calling for this relief funds and calling for rice ambulance.
O ang among demand, unang demand, pero wala ang among kanunan na dinapaabot. Una, i-release ang 15,000 sacks of rice, dihanyon sa ticket line.
We had 5 demands, but there were 2 that we prioritized. The first one was to release the 15,000 sacks of rice that were promised as part of calamity relief, where the demonstrations happened.
O ang ikaduha na demand na mo, samtang nagtaas pa ang init, wala pa klaro na ulan, wala pa po nakakarves ang mga farmers. Kung wala'y ulan, wala nakatanong, i-subsidize siya sa provincial government.
And the second priority call was that while the dry season was ongoing, while the drought was ongoing, the farmers were unable to till the land because of this dry season for the provincial government to subsidize the production of farmers.
Pero ang tubag sa provincial government kanamo sa among tulo ka adlaw ka protest, gipadalaan ni daghan ng police usa ka region police. O daghan po ng mga SWAT ang ipadala sa amo, o daghan ng mga kaning riot police ang ipadala. Ipadala mo hindi o drone. No? Ipadala mo hindi o drone. Sulod ka adlaw na ng protest.
But as a response to our 3-day protest and calls for relief, the provincial government responded to us by sending the police, sending the SWAT teams, sending riot police, sending soldiers, and even sending drones.
They
weren't considered content, so they also sent friends. And this is why we saw in the video where when the dispersal happened on the first, that's what the 2 people that were killed because of this overwhelming response of force.
O kung naspalod sa dispersan, o sulod sa punong
and the dispersal of 89 people were missing, and 6 of those 89 people. There were 2 people that were tortured.
Idala sa Citiyon o idala sa pilot school.
And 78 farmers were detained, arrested, and there was
O ang inig 28 mga farmers na nilako, maunang ang nagkatubang kaso. Unang sila yung kagatong kaso. Una, ang physical injury, direct assault, Okay, maraming sagutan.
And these 78 farmers that were arrested had 3 main cases against them. One is physical injury, the other is direct sabotage. Economic sabotage.
So, mo ang karon, kung kailangan makakayuta sa amo ang ako, wala nang pagkakalimat. Di ako kay biktima sa maraming pagkakalimat sa kalasyon, wala nang pagkakalimat, kundi biktima siya sa klase ng pagkakalimat sa iyong pagkakalimat sa mga.
And this is why I landed our second topic. It's not just the take over under our ancestral lands.
Justisya ang kusa sa among panawagan, tumutay, nangita ni justisya sa mga lumang ipatay. Hindi lang ipatay aktwal sa person, hindi lang wala ng kauban. Ang ipatay, hindi lang tutog sa numbers, no? Ang design sa numbers. Halimbawa, 91 out of 91, 78 ang ipatay, hindi nga simple.
And the justice is not very well because we're all of them. So the 3 farmers that were killed during this but also all the Lumad
Hindi kami sa
many of them, because of their demonstrations, have been arrested for charges, including South Africa, many charges against me.
Pinahiling ako
And we also not to realize it's not our calls are just limited to food, land, and justice.
isa po sa aming panawagan, nang nakaabot dito sa US, initawag na Save Our Schools.
And another one of our calls, the reason why the come here in the US is we to save our schools.
Kaya naman, ang among mga kabataan, mauni sila ang among susunod. Kapag kung wala ni sila yung mga kabataan, kung may sila mag-display, huwag pasabog, wala sila sa pag-display sa among kabataan.
Our next generation, so if we are continuously being displaced for education, even the next time, then they have no foundation, no knowledge in order to defend our ancestral home.
Dili na namin itali ang course na po parawagan yung anak sa nakulit. Yung gaya na sa US, magpapagay yung data ng mga presyon ng Philippine government at pinahihini na ano rin na itong mga kauban na kamutumikita na yung mga taxpayers.
I don't want to go into details of all the posts we have, but I ask everyone here to translate it solidarity, because particularly because we are taxpayers are funding the something that you really is to new president, in order to bring justice to file charges against former president.
Salamat.
I wrote this song last week during after the second course. Because I'm inspired, and before we probably going here in the US for this, because I remember when the nations subsidize coming from private sectors, not coming from government. One of the Lumad builder called the subsidize and said, my colleagues and my comrades, we should and we don't waste any or one grain of this rice, subsidize, because this is second for us, and this subsidize we initiate a plan for this subsidize. So yeah, for the monitors of the Kinabawan settlers of victims to the ground of the state declared. So for the peasants, this song, yeah, is for them and for us all. Magsasaka, ikaw ang ulap, ikaw ang buhay. Sa isip ko nagmula ang bawat bibig ng butil na pagkikibaka. Magsasaka, ikaw ang punla, ang bawat kasaysaya. Iyong inukit sa lagas mo na pula, ang sigaw ng sambayanan para sa paglaya sa tapos na pagsasamantala. Pagkain sa bawat mesa ang kailangan. Pagkain at hustisya ang kailangan. Ngunit ang tugon ay bala. Ngunit ang tugon ay masakit ng walang kaawa-awa. Silipin natin ngayon ang ngayon na. Silipin natin ngayon ang ngayon na. Silipin natin ngayon ang ngayon kinagupit ng pang-awi. Lupa ang hangad, pagkain at buhay. Tugon sa'yo'y pagpaslang at pagyura, pagobomba, masakit. Ngunit magsakay, tila-tila, tuloy ang laban, tuloy ang pakikibaka, isulong ang kilusang mapagpalaya, tuloy ang laban, tuloy ang pakikibaka, isulong ang kilusang mapagpalaya. Pagkain ng justisya, bigas hindi bala. Pagkain ng justisya, sige, pananatin, ngayon at ngayon na. Pagkain ng justisya, bigas hindi bala. Pagkain ng justisya, bigas hindi bala. Pagkain ng justisya, sige, pananatin, ngayon at ngayon na. Ngayon at ngayon na. Ngayon at ngayon na. Pagkain ng justisya, bigas lupa hindi bala. 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 One more time. Pagkain ng justisya, bigas lupa hindi bala. One more time. Pagkain ng justisya, bigas lupa hindi bala.
Thank you. Let's give another round of applause. Therapy along the national rights. I know there's a lot of information that you all experienced on this day. So hopefully you all have some questions. We have about 15 minutes to take some questions, maybe about proportions depending on how long we'll take. So we have all our speakers here. If you'd like to ask any question, please come up so everyone can hear you. That's one of ones. Thank you. So anyone want to answer that question is how can we help? That's what we're here to
Actually, as we said, in the now, in our organization, we have a safe or something, and we have this food, land, and justice something now. Because today, it means it will aggravate or the human rights violations of the armed forces of the Philippines. So we sign this one, and then for more, there's some more rights, and then yeah, for the long-term support, international coalition human rights. Clear?
Any other questions?
Wondering, for example, in the communities in the way of like tragedies, what help is provided to help the Maya process?
So the question was on the children, the communities.
Ang mga bata sa evacuation center na may psychological, psychosocial niya, nagpadayon pag yun ihapon sa pag-eskwela. Kung ni-graduate yun, ang hangay yung graduate ka na tawid.
Like the evacuation centers have psychological, psychosocial sessions, and so the children in the evacuation centers have psychological and psychosocial sessions, and we also make sure that they can continue their education and that those who get to graduate this year were able to.
Dili lang po ang mga bata, apil na ang community, apil po ang mga teacher. Tungod niya itong September 1, na-trauma yun ang tanan tungod sa pamhitabo mawala gidan.
These sessions actually include all of the community, because including the teachers and the adults, because everyone was traumatized with what happened in September 1st.
March, April, ang katong nag-graduate karon, nag-take na po sila o ani aron tan-awon kung angay ba mo pasa sa equality test, equality ani tan-awon kung nakapasar ba sila o angayan ba sila mo padayon sa kolehiyo.
And so those who graduated high school, they take standardized exam from the AMA. It's an equivalency exam for high schools. And so right now they're in the process of being evaluated to see if they can move on to college.
Kana siya ang gihimo. O sa kanang militar, kung naa sa community, siyempre ang mga bata, kahibalupod sila unsa ang balat. O kapil po na ginatudlo sa ila.
So the children are also taught a lot, particularly the role of militarization in the area.
And we would just like to add that the evacuation centers and the schools, the psychosocial lives, the continuing education, we are going to have an invite to come visit in July for the Solidarity Mission. So if you have any skills, psychosocial care or healthcare or nursing, so we invite all of you to come on our solidarity help with the psychosocial as well as the medical mission that's given to not just the children but also the adults, the evacuation centers, the communities, and the schools. Actually, also just wanted to add, there's supposed to be 3 actually Lumad children and students with us on this trip, but unfortunately their visas got denied. One of them was Michelle Campos, who was in the documentary, who was the daughter of the slain leader from So hopefully, maybe next time we come back, the children also be here to give their voice.
Thank you. So we just also wanted to pose a question. The military often tries to rationalize or, give the reason for staying in the encampments is accusing these communities, the Lumad communities of being part of the people's being armed rebels. We just wanted to find out how the Lumad communities respond to that. How do they
September first week na may nagadto sa Manila o tanas unsa ni nga napakita ko mapagpatay ang tubag ni Akin walay pa siya magpatay.
So in the first week of September when the killings happened, even the first week of September when the killings happened, there had already been delegates sent to Manila to seek accountability for what had gone on. And the response from Aquino was that it wasn't their policy to kill.
Apan sa General Baladan, nagpagawas po siya statement. Nag-ingon siya na 74% sa mga lumad o 90% sa area sa lumad ay Baladan. Mauna nga sa laptop niya pagka-istorya, target yun ang mga organisasyon, target ang mga eskwelahan tungkol kay kini ang ilang ipakalat niya, mga NPA, hindi nga mga tao.
But then, on the other hand, even though there's this official policy of not killing, General Balada had released statistics that supposedly 74% to 90% of NPA members are Lumad, and they have essentially been spreading this statistic in order to create a justification, like a subtle way to get out of the supposedly killing policy.
Sa tinutanay, tungkol kay kami ang taga-komunidad, kami ang nahibalo. O sa September 1, walay nahitabo nga inkwentro ang militar ng NPA. Direkta yun niya giatake ang komunidad, gipatay ang mga leader, o gipatay ang teacher, giharas.
But we are the people from the community. We live in these areas. We know what's going on. And so we know that on September 1st, there was no encounter between the NPA and the military government. What we know is that the military came directly to the schools, killed our elders, killed our teachers, and harassed our communities.
O sa laptop, dili yun na tinuod. Kaya kami, civilian yun mi. Kung kami nga mga lumad, na ang may mga lumad nga na NPA, wala na nagpasabot nga ang mga civilian uban sa programa sa NPA. Kung na ang may lumad nga nagsundalo, irespeto nila ang katulad. Kay dili ni NPA, dili ni militar, civilian ni. Kung na ang self-determination isip mga lumad.
So we know the truth, that we know that despite the characterization of us being NPA, but we are civilians. We are seeking our self-determination. We know that even if there were some Lumad who would join the NPA,
principles of international humanitarian law, the right to self-determination can also come in the form of liberation, or it can also come in the form of armed struggle. So we have to take that in context. In fact, the history of indigenous peoples, not only the Philippines, not only Mindanao, speaks of armed resistance, not only against colonization, but even against intrusions into our territories. You will hear of stories of, like in Mindanao, in Talabiwag, the Manobo, that were affected by these large-scale logging operations by Alcantara and Sons. They went through the process of sending petitions, doing lobbying with government, but at the end of the day, these were not able to stop the logging operations and expansion into their territories. They waged a tribal war against Alcantara and Sons, and they were successful. My people up north in the Cordillera also did armed resistance when we opposed the World Bank funded Chico River dams. If not for armed resistance, the dams would have been built. So, it's very easy for government to say that we are NPAs because it justifies their armed attacks against us. Because if they cannot accuse us that we are combatants, by law, they cannot do a form of violence. But then I think that's how we will take that into context. Some of us have joined the People's Army, and it is the right to do so. Some of our communities have decided to take arms collectively against government or against projects, and it is our right to do so. It is our expression of our right to self-determination.
Lugaw na ko ang military.
Just to add to that.
Ang military na ko number 1 recruiter na ang mga human musulod siya mga country tungkol nagbitan sa mga anak-anak ko
The military is actually, the militarization is the #1 reason why many of them might end up joining the NPA, despite being in the NPA in their armed struggle.
Tungkol kay bisay ba sila para di ako sa ganun target para di makulong di pacho una na lang sa ako
because of all the trumped up charges that they're filing against the Lumad, instead of rotting in jail or being killed there anyway, they would just run away and join the NPA.
Mga na di lang naman yung namisunod sila kundi tungkol sa military sila ang number 1 instructor sa mga lumat sa People's Army para ang una-una nila makabalot o makalikan sa ilang ginawa.
It's this reason that we know that the military, despite what they claim, they are the direct reason why many Lumad joined the NPA. Many of the Lumad younger folks feel that they have to defend and also fight back from these accusations and these threats.
Okay,
We have room for one more question, but if you have any other questions or comments that you do want to discuss, please keep in mind that after we go on a break, we're going to have a breakout session that will give us more opportunity to really discuss some of these issues and kind of with us the question earlier of what else can we do, right, as we needed here in the US. So we have room for one more question.
So I think somebody said that they went to Washington, right? So in Washington, the White House, so we could discuss the issue of legalization there, the legalization and why it may so that conversation between Americans.
So the question on legalization,
Ang mga pagkawalan
anak dito sa Pilipinas, ipaabot na mo dito sa anong gagawin sa Lakbay na State mo ang Washington DC.
So, so the thoughts that we talked about to you about stopping killings, Lumad, the government back and failure of it actually brought these issues at our first stop in the U.S. tour in Washington D.C.
So nagpaabot dito ang dami sa State Department sa Washington D.C. Nakita ko sa Senate, o sa mga congressman sa mga kapitila sa Washington D.C.
So we had lobbied the State Department, we had lobbied the Senate, and we had also gone to individual offices of some congressmen.
Usa sa among inusagan nga asa ko sa kalidad. Mga katong unahon ang paghatag og ayuda nato sa Pilipinas tungod kay maorani ang pasabot sa mga kailangan.
So one of the things we discussed in particular was going to the postcard of ending the military aid to the Philippines, because this military aid becomes essentially translated to declaring war on the Philippines.
Huwag nagtuon din nga pinaagi sa among pagkilabi, makatama po siya sa pag-pressure sa Pilipino.
And so one of our hopes is that through lobbying in the United States, we will also be able to pressure the Philippines to stop.
Kung hindi lang siguro ng kanyang mga State Department o mga Senate sa buong US ang atong saligan, hindi na nakakontribute po na ako sa kasibahan na ginamit ng district.
So we didn't just rely on the government, the Congress, and the Senate. We've also received a lot of support from the church community, particularly the United Methodist Church.
Tungkol kay ang Lakbay Lumad Tuesday, ano ang kailan mga taon, kasama mga nakadako ang aktividad na ang kabukan. Ang kinikitawag na Ecumenical Advocacy Day sa Washington D.C. Kunya nag-end sa Portland, nakakibig sa General Conference sa United Methodist Church.
Because one of our main objectives in the Lakbay tour was it can be ecumenical advocacy that started in Washington D.C. and ended in our attendance in Portland of the conference there.
Kung natuon rin ang NBC ang pagpapulong ng pressure training government, pinagiging pagpapanaw sa integration conferences.
And it also part of our objective that our presence in the church and as well as our attendance in the United Nations conferences would put even more pressure on the Philippine government.
Kung malikong mag-uwi, kung pamunta na ako, ato mo sa Pilipinas, kapagulay, tungkol kaya na ito ang nagpukay na aktividad. Kaya itawag na ICER conference o sa ISS.
And we also asked to invite you to come with us in the Philippines in July, because one of the next big event is going to be the ICER conference, which again will be a call from all the international community to put more pressure for the Philippines government to act.
Focus na ang unang celebrate sa Kalamaran Day dito sa Mindanao. Pero hindi siya celebration kung hindi lahat ng mga kakahintang sa Kalamaran Mindanao. Hindi magkakaw para kung mga sayaw
and so we particularly invite you to August 9, which is Kalamaran Day, the day of the indigenous people. And this event is not just about the celebration about indigenous people, but it's a holistic celebration of what the Lumad stand for, they're fighting for, as well as their culture and their actions.
O posible, gusto mo dito, kaya di mo kalimutan yung celebrate, kaya mo siya nagkikilala under sa United Nations Declaration of the Rights of Indigenous Peoples. Kaya sa UN, nagkikilala, pero kami ito sa Mindanao, na-special na celebration niya. Umahan ito ka lang.
So this is part of the international effort by the UN to declare indigenous people stay on August 9, and so definitely we invite you all to come on August 9 and have our special event there.
Welcome sa lokal natin.
You're all welcome.
Salamat.
Science T-shirt, please find them. On the call of Food, Land, and Justice, it's $25. It's also in the back. Again, helping out with the entire who are putting together this amazing events that we've been doing these last few days, this last week. We're also on the last leg of this particular tour, so really want to make sure that we support everything putting together this actual event. Also, if you do need to use the restrooms out in the hall during the break, there's some snacks and other things to have. Oh, yeah, we're gonna hold, yeah, upstairs. So please come back in about 15 minutes and we'll have the great art session. We have a great discussion as to what else can we do this side